He is literally a murderer for hire.
Saints, the bar was low.
Okay, plot twist. English version and then American version. Oh my god, ew, to make it even freaking worse, I don't actually know how it can get any worse. He's got water droplets dripping down his face. Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay, we have gotten to the part of the enemies.
He's like lurking outside like a stalker.
Guys.
I'm sure he would like touching in both ways.
I would happily have any of the other characters die, but not the dog. Hello, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to do my first reading vlog. So this is The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. I've not read any of her stuff before, so this will be interesting. So this book is set in Fantôme, I think is how you say it. A kingdom of cobbled streets, flickering lamplight, beautiful buildings, and secret catacombs. Shade magic is a scarce and deadly commodity controlled by two enemy guilds, the Cloaks and the Daggers. On the night of her mother's murder, 18-year-old Seraphine runs for her life. Seeking sanctuary with the Cloaks, Sarah's heart is set on revenge. But are her secret abilities a match for the dark-haired boy whose quicksilver eyes follow her around the city? Nothing can prepare Sarah for the moment she finally comes face to face with Ransom, heir to the Order of the Daggers, and Ransom is shocked to discover that this unassuming farm girl wields a strange and blazing magic he has never seen before. A fiery enemies to lovers romance. So obviously Ransom, interesting name, not heard that one before, will be the love interest with his quicksilver eye. So yes, I'm excited to get into it and relax for the rest of the day. And obviously there will be spoilers, so if you don't want any spoilers then make sure to click off now, but if you do, then keep watching. Let's go. Okay, so I'm on page like a 40 something now, and you know, it's going fine so far. So we have a prologue, which I feel like could have been like left out until like later, because I feel like the first line of chapter 1 would have been, you know, better. Like, I feel like this one is a good hook for like the opener rather than like her being in her room. So I feel like the prologue like could have been like a flashback. So yeah, but I love her dog is named Pippin. It's so cute. It has 3 legs. I'm not actually sure what kind of dog it is, but yeah, Pippin, iconic name, hopefully after Lord of the Rings Pippin. Oh, sorry, my arm is getting sore there. But yeah, I will say that like she is like running for her life right now, and I'm like, you know, fine, but like not feeling the urgency of the situation because, you know, she's supposed to be, you know, running for my life. And then it's like, when she was a little girl, Mama used to bring her into the city every Sunday. They would set out of their farmhouse, blah, blah, blah. Afterwards, they would browse for hours. And then there's like a whole like paragraph about like what she did with her mum in the city. And then talking about shade, which is that magic. And it's like how that relates to the daggers. The daggers consume shade. Okay, you know, fine, but literally it's like 3 pages of like an info dump about her past. I'm like, you're supposed to be running for your life. Why are we getting all of this information like right now? It's like taking away from the urgency of the situation. And then we get a flashback of like what she's running from right now, which lasts a couple of pages as well. So yeah, not a fan of that. Like, you know, if it's urgent, just keep to the urgent situation, like the here and the now and the present, what you're doing. But I do think it is a cool concept. Like, I'm interested to see how it's going to go. So it's a dual POV. So we have Seraphine's point of view, and then we also have Ransom's point of view. And he's been like tasked with like killing her, but obviously she has gone into the Order of the Cloaks now, and he's in the Order of the Daggers, so they're like against each other and they don't mess with each other. So interested to see what's going to happen there. So yeah, right now Seraphine has arrived at the Order of the Cloak. She ran there after her mother was murdered, and we're obviously supposed to believe that it's Ransom because when she saw her mother's dead body there was a tall man with quicksilver eyes standing above him. So I feel like we're supposed to believe that Ransom killed her mom. I don't know if he did or not, but then I feel like she wouldn't be with someone who killed her mom. So I feel like there's something else going on there. But yeah, we're gonna see how she gets on in the Order of the Cloaks. So no doubt she'll have to do like tests and stuff. So yeah, we'll see how she gets on. Okay, sorry for the outfit change. I got cold. I literally had to put on gloves as well. So now I'm on page 85, and Ransom and Sarah had their first meeting in the square with a little music box that was cute, but literally one meeting and he spoke to her for like 5 seconds about a swan. And then now his boss is like, kill her. And he's like, but we don't kill young people. Like, he doesn't want to kill her. And I'm like, you literally have spoken to this girl for like 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes. And you like don't want to kill her. Like, that's his job, you know what I mean? Like, he's a dagger. He literally takes the shade and then kills people. Like, that's it. He is literally a murderer for hire. So yeah, I'm like, ooh, enemies to lovers. I'm like maybe he's her enemy because he's like stalking her and stuff, but oh well, he says he is gonna kill her, but like he doesn't want to. So but the layers where they are pretty cool actually. Like, the cloaks have this big opulent house because, you know, they're thieves, so they be living a bougie lifestyle. And then the daggers live like in this underground catacomb thing with like skulls and stuff because their founder was like a psychopath who loved to murder people and like killed his own sister apparently. So yeah, not sure where this is going, but enjoying so far. Although I would love to know why there are 2 different spellings of practice. Practice. I'm like, how did the editor or the writer not pick up that that is English version and then American version? Like, they're literally right beside each other. Like, how do you miss that? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Okay, we have gotten to the part of the enemies. Like, before I didn't see it, but now I see it because he literally was holding her up a way to kill her. Like, it takes 10 heartbeats for a dagger to kill someone. So literally killing her. And of course, you know, she's the special. So she had light coming out of her because, you know, the dagger and the flame in the title. So she's obviously a flame and has some like light power or something. And that's like burning out the evil shade stuff that they take to make them able to kill people and stuff. So he was literally killing her. I was like, like, yeah, he didn't want to, but he was gonna do it. And then plot twist, yeah, she does her light and then she has this letter opener and like stabs him. Like, literally stabs him through all his muscle and whatever skin. It's very descriptive actually. And leaves him dying on the rooftop, which I'm like, fair, because he was literally trying to kill her, so you go, girl. Yes, we love that. Now I'm feeling proper enemies. I'm like, yep, you tried to kill her. She stabbed you. You're now like bleeding out. And I do like their interactions, like their banter is funny. But then also her friends, I'm like, are you really good friends? Because they literally left her to get like mauled by dogs. So thankfully she got away. Otherwise, ooh, grim. Okay, so I'm on page 208 and Ransom and Sarah have had a saucy little scene in an alleyway. I say saucy, nothing actually happened, you know, just like the tension was thick. I think she's like spat on him, he chucked a bottle at her and then she fell and then like cracked her head open and then she had her hand on his chest. I don't know, it was tension. He is wanting her little necklace thing that did the light because it like got rid of the marks that you get when you take the shade. So he's got like loads of black marks like all up his body from taking that, like tattoos. So he's after that. And that was just funny because she's like, I thought I killed you. And he's like, no. And then literally thought her dog was a way to die. And I was like, nah. Because this is the midpoint in the book, I was like, oh my gosh, something's gonna happen. I was like, see if her dog dies. No, that's like, no. I would happily have any of the other characters die, but not the dog. This dog was literally a way to be squished by horses, and thankfully, who of course saved the day with a shield of like black smoke. Ransom, of course it was. And then she's like, please don't hurt my dog. And he's like, why would I save your dog to then hurt it? Okay, girl. So yeah, now he wants to like work together with her because he thinks her like power is the antidote to this like shade stuff that is like going to kill him eventually. So we're getting there, but yes, I love the tension. It's a vibe. Okay, I'm not sure where I last left off, but yeah, she stabbed him and then he like ran away and then almost got attacked by one of these monster things that are like plaguing the city. And then we find out that the monsters are actually people because Ransom and his friends went to go look into someone that went missing and then found out that this person had turned into a monster, and then there he found this like random bottle of wine. Oh, should we drink this? Because
you know that is relevant. And they were like, oh, this nectar of saints wine, blah, blah, blah. Then Sarah goes back to the plains, which is like the countryside, where her house was set on fire and her mum like died. And there she also finds bottles of this like wine, and it turns out that her mum had like poisoned all of this wine, and I guess she was supposed to like give it to evil people, but then it turned out that the evil guy Dufort killed her before she could, and then this shipment of wine randomly got out, so anyone who has this wine is like turning into monsters in the city and like killing people. And then the only antidote is light fire, which is the little bead thing which Sarah has around her neck, like her mother managed to make it, so that's the antidote to these monsters. So they're trying to find the recipe because the only one that exists is in this bead. So now they're at this library where they're hoping to find like the journals of the scholar who like was making the light fire in the first place. So that's where we are right now. So before they're at the library, her and Ransom have been like sending these like paper airplanes to each other. So he's been like walking outside of House Armand, which is where she's staying in the cloaks, and obviously the cloaks and daggers are against each other. They can't go into each other's territory, so he's like lurking outside like a stalker, and I just think their dart conversations are like so funny. She's like, what exactly do you want? And he's like, come outside and I'll tell you. I would rather eat a bowl of my own hair. Which I'm like, okay, never heard that expression before, but sure. Charming. Did you enjoy your trip to the plains? Did you kill Lorenzo? Lorenzo is this random guy. He's so like just obviously there as a plot device because she was supposed to be like, you know, hot and heavy with him like back in the day at her farmhouse and getting it on. And obviously Ransom followed her to the farmhouse when she went and then solaced the Lorenzo guy. And also Lorenzo was a dick because he was like, well, your mom deserved to die, so ooh, sorry. And I also saw the man going to your house to kill your mom, and I just like ran away in the opposite direction, so bye. But he's like, I spared your lover boy, but not before he pissed himself. She's like, thank you. She regretted it the second she sent it. The dagger hardly have deserved applause for simply not killing someone. Saints, the bar was low. I did get a giggle out of that because like, you didn't kill someone, good for you. He's like, I don't kill for free. She's like, in that case, moneybags, I've got a new assignment for you. It appears I have a stalker. I have it on good authority that he has a dodgy liver as of recently, because obviously she stabbed him. He's like, you missed my liver, Seraphine. If you come outside, I'll let you trace my scar to prove it. And then he sends her a drawing of what her face looked like when he was like, oh, you can trace my scar. She's like, somehow he had captured that moment, feasted on it. The expression on the drawing on her face was not fear or anger. It was desire. So yeah, she was all embarrassed. So anyways, we're going back to the library where they're at looking for this light fire recipe. And of course, Ransom follows her there because he wants this antidote as well. So he like creeps up on her and he has the silver in his eyes, which means he's taken the shade. So she's like, oh my god, he's here to kill me. And then like hits him with a cane and then like runs away. So obviously he follows her. So then she's like, what the hell do you want from me? And he's like,
I want you to touch me, Seraphine.
I'm sure he would like touching in both ways, but he's like, I want you to burn me, to like burn off all these tattoos that are going to be killing him eventually. And she like freaks out. She's like, no, and then falls off a balcony. Like he has her pinned up against this balcony and she like gets randomly freaked out, so then just falls over the side. And sorry, if I was falling off a balcony, I feel like I would be having more feelings than just, no. Her arms flailing. She was already plummeting. The ceiling fell away, scream dying in her throat. She squeezed her eyes shut, bracing for the hard slap of marble. Sarah halted right before the moment of impact. Where are the feelings, you know? Doesn't say her heart is in her throat or how she's feeling. It just describes her falling off the balcony, not like any of her actual emotions. So I feel like we could have drawn that scene out a bit more, you know, slow motion falling. What is she feeling? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. What's she thinking about right before she thinks she's away to die? But no, we don't get any of that. We just get, she was floating. She's caught in shadows from Ransom. And then, so he just saves her life and then he's just like, what are you even doing here? Not mind, she just fell off a balcony and you just saved her life and then nothing. I'm here to research this as if that like never happened. Okay, hold up. Is his name actually Bastion? Like, is his name Sebastian? I'm not even joking. So the balcony scene literally just happened and then she like runs away from him and then this monster like comes up and is like a way to kill her, and obviously he like jumps in front of her and is like tackling this monster, and then this monster is like drowning him in a fountain and he's like having flashbacks, you know, as you do. He's like picturing his sister and his mother and she's like, come my darling Bastion. So I'm like, oh god, are we gonna have like a name switch? I think there's a book too. Oh, That'll be too confusing. I hope that doesn't happen. But obviously he's not away to die and she will probably save his life. Okay, so she saves his life. He's like, oh my gosh, this Saint Selena whose fountain he has been drowning in. She's come to save me, but no. It's Seraphine. The monster that had nearly killed him had not fled. It was still here, stuck in the same fountain, only it wasn't fighting now. It was kneeling, head bowed, at the feet of Seraphine Merchant. So I'm like, is she like controlling it now? Like it sees the flame and he's like, yes, savior. Like, is she turning into a saint? Okay, I feel like there should be a page break here. So yes, Ransom is still alive and she is in control of the monster. She's like, lift your hand. And he like is like, she's like, fall away to the darkness to like try turn it back into a man, and then her like bead of light like explodes and then she like falls unconscious into the water. So here, she was unconscious before her head hit the water, and when it did, she sank like a stone. Eons passed in the cold, wet dark. Like for me, I would have put like, you know, a page break here, or you know, a squiggly thing, so you know it's, I feel like this sentence should be like at the end of like a chapter, because I'm just like, ooh, sunk like a stone, and then eons pass, like, right? I feel like it would have more of a dramatic impact that way. Ooh, we had our first little kiss scene. Don't worry guys, it was a good one. And no, it was not on the lips, so get your minds out of the gutter. So she cleansed the monster of the darkness, and the man went back to what he was like before, but obviously he'd been the monster for so long that he died. And then of course Ransom is lying over her like, Seraphine, wake up. And he, you know, his shirt's open, they're all wet, like his hair's stuck to his head, he's got water droplets dripping down his face. Ooh. And then she's like, why do you want the antidote? And he's like, oh, it gets rid of my marks, like I just want to be free. And since her necklace exploded, the light fire is gone, but she feels like there may be some inside of her, so she reaches up to touch his face and nothing happens. R.I.P. But when her hand is on his face, turns his face to the side and gives her a little kiss on the hand. That was a sweet scene. And then her friends are like, where the fuck are you? So they both like yeet away from each other, and then he like steals the man's body and then like yeets away. Lol. I mean, shame she literally used her power on some random guy who ended up dying anyway. But you know, we got to advance that plot, so.
Guys, they have finally kissed. Where did I get to before? I think they were like saved each other from the fountain and the monster. I think there he told her that the journal thing they were looking for to make the light fire maybe was in Lucille's grave, which is in the lair of the daggers, you know, where no one can go apart from a dagger. And even the daggers themselves, like Ransom, is not allowed into the tomb. So Sarah like sends him a little message and is like, yo, come and meet me at this church. And she sent one of those little darts and was like, it's a date. And then he saved it. Cute. So they meet in this church, and then it's all like passive aggressiveness actually, but also sexual tension. So that happens, and she like brings his hand to like her throat to like kill me, and instead he like strokes her face. It was a whole thing. Anyways, they were gonna kiss, and then they're both just like and then they leave, and he's like, yes, I will go and get that journal for you. So he goes back to his lair and he's like creeping along the catacombs, and then he's like, is there someone following me? And then someone sneezes, so obviously there's someone there, and it's Sarah. She has her like cloak on, which helps her like hide in the shadows, hence the name Cloaks. So he pulls her out, and then they get the journal, and then other people start coming down the stairs because they accidentally, he like tripped on her cloak and then knocked over the tombstone lid or whatever. They have to like run and hide in the shadows, and she like puts her cloak on him, so you know they're hidden, so they're obviously, she's got her back up against the wall, and he's like protecting her. And once the people go away, Ransom's like, we'll just wait 2 minutes more, and then they start making out. Although I was expecting, you know, like a kissing, like, because it's so much tension, but he's like, 2 more minutes. She frowned. They had the journal, and now the coast was clear. Why do we need to wait for this? He said, kissing her. I'm like, you know, kissing her. I was expecting it to be like, you know, for this, he said. And then his lips crashed onto hers, and blah, 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 blah. You know, I was expecting it to be more climactic. So they're like literally getting on, and she was like half a heartbeat from dragging him down onto the dusty floor when she heard the sound of crumpling paper. So she literally almost destroyed the journal that they came here to get because they were too into their sexy times. Sorry, could you imagine? Oh yeah, actually no, we couldn't find the cure because we ruined it when we were having sex. Like imagine, that'd be so funny. Ooh, I just like read on here for a second, and yikes. His friend Nadia is like, I wish I hadn't seen that. Okay, I'm getting distracted. I literally was reading there. Anyways, so that is where I have gotten to right now. So they've had the first kiss. That was about, what, 75% of the way through, so
We love that. I feel like it had been built up enough that I'm like, yeah, I like it. Oh, and also I forgot to say his friend, Lark. So Ransom has two friends, Nadia and Lark, and they're both daggers. And Dufort, who's the overall evil man that we're trying to, you know, get rid of, is like, Ransom, you're doing a shit job. So he's like, no, we're gonna assign your friend to kill her. So now I'm gonna be tense. I'm like, oh my gosh, is his friend gonna try and kill her? And then he's gonna kill his friend to save her life. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, ignore my appearance, it looks like a state, but it's literally a blizzard outside and I'm freezing. So Sarah is reading the journal, but I was just reading it and I was like, right, okay, so this is Lucille's journal. Obviously she's like however many 100 years old, I think, I'm not sure. And then she's saying that when she was a girl, her mum used to like cut out and dry the leaves, blah, blah, blah. And then her mum said, we must take care to hide the light, my little firefly. So I just find this is a weird thing to say because Sarah's mum always called her firefly. And then this random lady's mum, however many years ago, is also calling her a firefly. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, usually one character will just say firefly, like, you know, Sarah's mom, that's it. I feel like it's weird for someone else's mom to also have been calling her firefly. I don't know, that was just like, okay, plot twist. The evil guy who she's been trying to kill and who killed her mother, not Ransom, but like the head. His name's like Gaspard Dufort or something. Yeah. He's her father, so she's like meeting Ransom in the forest to be like, oh, we've discovered light fire, we've made it, so we're gonna do this tomorrow. And then she meets up with him and he's like, I'm going to talk to Gaspard and like make sure he forgets you. And she's like, he is not gonna forget about me because he's my father. And then Ransom was like, he's like a father to me. And she's like, well, he likes to kill his own children when they get in their way. So, I mean, damn. Oh, well, there's no showing instead of telling here. He is literally just telling. Rage, horror, betrayal. I mean, I'm pretty sure that we're supposed to see these things on his face, not for him to actually like literally say it out loud. But I mean, okay. Although now Sarah is giving like a massive info dump on like the backstory of her parents and how they met and like how Dufort became like evil or whatever. But yeah, I feel like it could have been placed, you know, at better time, like her and Dufort like meet and then she's like, hello father, you know what I mean?
Hello, brother.
I feel like having a random reveal like just in a conversation in a forest, you know, fine. I was surprised. I feel like it could have been more climactic, you know, if it was like in a situation and everyone's like, oh my god, what? Instead of then getting this long backstory, but I don't know. Oh my god, sorry, I literally had to grab my camera at this because what is happening right now? Her and Ransom had this plan to like use this light fire to like get the monsters and then like capture Dufort. So Sarah leaves with her big plan. She's like going down to the docks where all the monsters are. She got her light fire cloak and then these like light fire ball things and she like raises all the monsters. So she's literally marching along the town. You know, she's got like 100 monster thing behind her and then Ransom comes out the front and she's like, where is my father? And he's like, can't do this yet. Like, I need more time because Dufort has said to him like, oh, I got the king's scouts to like look for your mother and sister. He obviously knows that Ransom is like going to go against him, so he's like given him like a reason not to hurt him. So he like drags Sarah into this alleyway and she's like, oh no, Ransom, don't believe it. And then they literally start making out in this alleyway. So this is like here in the book. This is like the climax of the book. So tell me why they've started to make out in this alleyway when there's literally 100 monsters under her control standing just outside the alleyway. So just lined up on the street, all of these like hundreds of monsters, you know, just standing there while they're like getting hot and heavy in an alleyway. I'm like, actually what's happening right now? Who stops for sexy times in the middle of the climax of the book? Oh, oh my god. I didn't think it could get any worse. Stop, actually stop right now because what the actual fuck am I reading? Not him literally fingering her in the alleyway when all of these fucking monsters are just stood there. Are you actually taking the piss? What the f is going on? Ugh. No! Oh my god, she's like climaxing. No! This is the funniest thing I've ever read in my life. What the actual hell? I cannot believe this is in here. Sorry, what do you mean? You were literally making her climax when there are literally 100 monsters who are literal people. Like, you know, they're fucking trapped in their bodies because your mom poisoned them. But, you know, it's fine. You just leave them standing there while you literally go and have an orgasm right beside them where they can all hear you. Are you actually serious? Ew. Ew. Right. So, you know how Ransom was trying to get rid of his tattoos this whole time? Well, who would have known that all he needed to do to get rid of his tattoos was to finger her. That is the most outrageous thing I've ever heard in my freaking life. Here you go. Here's like his biggest thing and goal of the book, just simply solved by getting her to orgasm. Oh my god, I literally can't. I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. I can't believe I am reading this. I'm like, I don't even know if I can go on reading this because, oh my god, that is traumatizing. Traumatizing. Oh my god, ew, to make it even freaking worse, I don't actually know how it can get any worse. So she's like, you know, pulling up her trousers and wrapping her cloak around herself, and she gets hit on the back of the head and gets knocked unconscious because Ransom's friend, Lark, who's also tasked with killing her, literally pops down 2 seconds later. So he'd obviously been standing there whilst Ransom was doing that to her and, you know, let her enjoy her pleasure because haha, and then drops to fucking knock her unconscious. But also, like, what are happening to these monsters? Where are the monsters? Oh my god. Okay, so she got taken down into the catacombs, which is the Dagger's lair, and she wakes up and it's like chaos everywhere because the monsters have like made it into the tombs, and then her dad's there and she's like, lie down and die in your tomb, and he's like, that's exactly what your mother said. And tell me, little firefly, where is she now? But my question is, he didn't even live with her. Like, her mother called her a firefly. So why is he calling her a firefly? Because how would he know? You know? Because I don't think he really even lived with her. Like, he was like some abusive arsehole who I don't think lived with them for even that long. So I'm like, why is he calling her that? You know what I mean? So I'm like, he's called her that. Her mother's called her that, who's like the one we know to call her that. And then that random lady's mother in that notebook called her daughter the firefly. Why is this word being so overused by like different people? Like, seriously, just have one person freaking say it. Okay, I've made it a little bit further now, and basically Dufort, he dead, he gone, bye-bye. He was killed by a friggin' monster, so RIP to him. And then it all kind of went really fast from there. Like, she literally just got up, but she was like injured and dying, basically lying on the floor. And then now she's fine apparently and has taken the monsters and they're all freaking gone. They're all dead. And it was like so fast that I like feel like I don't even know what I've just read. Like, you know, solving the problem was like apparently really easy. But obviously, you know, we had a little twist there, which I was like, okay. Obviously, at first she thought Ransom killed her mother, then she thought Dufort killed her mother. But now she sees Lark, Ransom's friend, and it turns out he killed her mother, and now he's gonna try kill her. So I'm gonna try and finish reading this. Then the next time I check in will be when I'm freaking done. So we'll see you then. Okay guys, I freaking finished it, y'all. I'll quickly tell you what happened in the ending and then I will go into my thoughts. So I think where I left off, that Lark had cornered her up on the tower that she was at. So she left Ransom and then she was leading the monsters to the tower. They got them all, they set the light fire on anyway, and then all the monsters like died. And then Lark comes up to kill her and then they get into this like fight, and then lightning comes from the freaking sky and zaps her, and then she like electrocutes Lark and kills him basically. So RIP. And then the tower like explodes and she like falls. But again, in my opinion, there was a lack of description for this. She's just falling and that's that. Ransom is obviously running towards there. He sees his friend Lark is dead. Nadia, who's Lark's girlfriend, is like holding his body and is like, this is all her fault, like blah blah blah, we're gonna kill her. So Seraphine wakes up in hospital, and then her and her friends all decide to leave town because Sarah was going to leave town anyway with Ransom and start this whole new life, blah blah blah. Obviously this does not happen. Ransom actually ends up taking over the Order of the Daggers because he wants to like protect her, because Nadia and all the other daggers will kill her. So Sarah is obviously waiting for him to like leave with him to start their new life with her friends,
And then he's like, no, you must get out of the city, and if you come back, I'll kill you. So anyways, her and her friends set off because they want to go away and then start a new order, which is gonna rework the whole city. So they go to this hidden town and then they are gonna work towards building a better place and like light fire and all this other stuff. I don't actually know. Not gonna lie, I honestly did zone out for the last half of that book. Like, it was a struggle actually to finish it. I don't know if it's because I left it for so long and like I did enjoy the book, but I did leave it for like a good chunk of time before I went back to it, because after that freaking monster scene I did not want to read this book again, only because I was making this video that I like pushed myself to actually finish it. So yeah, let's just get into my thoughts on the whole book. So the concept, loved it, thought it was a really cool idea, having like an order of cloaks and daggers and doing different things, and the shade magic, like that was interesting. But I will say I didn't like the fact that it wasn't really explored. Like, she goes to the cloaks for sanctuary, and I feel like it's a bit unbelievable that like, yeah, they let her in, but the fact that then she didn't really have to prove herself. She went on one job, which wasn't even basically felt like a job. I feel like we didn't get to explore the house and actually the community of the cloaks, what they do. Like, I doubt you're just gonna be able to go there and be able to freeload. Like, she did that one mission, that was it. Like, it felt unbelievable that she would be there and just basically freeload off them and not do any jobs. And I felt like the cloaks could have been explored more. Like, that would have been so fun, like seeing her go on different jobs and like actually how the inner workings work and like doing heists and stuff like on the side, like actually being a cloak, because I didn't really feel like she was. So yeah, I was disappointed that there wasn't more of that. And then that kind of leads me onto her friends as well. They are so flat. Yeah, I didn't like them. I didn't care what happened to them. Like, if any of them had been killed, wouldn't have bothered me. There was a few good lines from one of her friends, and that's literally it. Like, there was like 2 sentences and that was it. Yeah, they were just flat and boring and felt like they were just serving as plot devices. Like, I didn't care about any of them. I definitely feel like there could have been deeper moments, deeper bonds, actually them feeling like a team. And then the plot with her mother, I did think that was interesting, like that her mother was responsible for it all and actually created the monster. So like, she was honestly, she was like kind of the also antagonist of the book as well. So I did enjoy that. That was an interesting plot part. But one thing I did not like was the lack of depth about the people that her mother turned into monsters. So it was like her mother's created this, they drank the wine and then they turned into monsters and then they died. Like, once you returned to the monster, there wasn't like, oh, we can save them. No, they freaking all died. And it felt like we didn't really care. Like, they're like, oh yeah, that was so-and-so, shame, he's dead. Like, I feel like it would have been better if they had known someone, like one of the Order of the Cloaks or whatever, and then she made friends with them, and then they accidentally drank the wine or something and then got turned. And it would be like a big thing and like heartbreaking, not just, oh yes, these people are being killed throughout the city. Shame. So, really didn't like that. And also the other thing, you can tell she clearly didn't freaking care about these people that her mother had literally ruined their life. Like, that's someone's mom, that's someone's father, brother. And I'm like, if that was someone close to her, I'm sure she'd care about it, but she clearly freaking doesn't care about these people, considering the fact that she was leading the freaking monsters. One, to just go and kill people, and also the fact that she literally made them stand there whilst Ransom literally was giving her an orgasm in a freaking alleyway. Obviously, I already talked about this, but this pisses me off so much. Like, what do you mean they're all just freaking standing there? These poor people who have had their lives taken away from them and they're literally ready to die, and you're just making them stand in an alleyway to go and get an orgasm. So that was like the worst thing, honestly, in this book I've ever read, and like the most outrageous thing I think I've probably ever read in any book. Such like a detriment to this book to have that scene included in there. But anyways, yeah, that leads me to the climax part. So honestly, the climax felt like so dragged out. Like, I felt like I was reading it for freaking ages. But then once we got past like the whole scene where she got taken to like de forts, then all the monsters came in, then he died, then there was loads of fighting, then she makes it back out again to go to the tower where we were supposed to freaking go in the first place, but we got side toured by orgasms and like being captured and whatever else, where all this monsters get killed and the light firework. Like, so that was the climax. I'm like, it was like a double climax. It felt like the de fort bit should have been the climax, but then this other whole plan that they had to like get rid of the monsters and all this was literally just like tacked on at the end, and it felt so rushed and felt like not important. It's just like, I don't care, let's just hurry this up because I'm bored now. So, and for scenes where Sarah like was supposed to be feeling stuff, I didn't feel like the emotions. Her like life or death situations, it would just be like over in like 2 seconds, and there was no actual real description of like how you would be feeling, like how she was feeling. It was just over so fast, so you didn't really get the impact of like, oh my gosh, like there was no tension or suspense. So I definitely feel like there could have been more depth in the character and more like descriptions, but definitely not that description at the start where she was running for her life, and then we literally got like sidetracked by like random information dumps. They could have been put in like any other way. It'd just be like weird scenes where it's like life or death, things happen, and then it's just like random info dumps of like information. But in terms of the love interest, like I did like her and Ransom's relationship. Like I liked their little paper airplane note things, and their hatred makes sense. So I enjoyed that because like she thought he killed mother, and then he obviously got tasked with killing her. That's his job. Like there wasn't anything special. Although I did find it slightly weird that he didn't want to kill her like after seeing her for just like literally 5 seconds. But then he did try to kill her. So you know, it made up. So yeah, I did like their tension, and I enjoyed the conflict between them, and feel like that was a good way to separate them at the end, because obviously they cannot be getting together like so easily, so fast. So by having him take over the Order of the Daggers to protect her, and then she's going to be against him in the future with her new order, yes, we love that. So yeah, that was my thoughts on this book. Let me know if you have read it and what your thoughts were. But yeah, overall I would recommend this book. Like it is good, but obviously when you're analyzing it, it's slightly different. But yeah, it was an enjoyable time, minus the freaking worst scene ever that I hate. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, this is just my thoughts on this. This is not anything against the author or anything. Obviously there was good bits and there was bits that I thought could have been improved on, but that's probably true for literally anything that exists out there. But yeah, I just thought this was like a fun video to make, and I had so much fun doing this reading vlog. So if you guys enjoyed this and want me to do another reading vlog, then definitely comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!